In this tutorial, we will be learning how to make 3D logos in Maya. So this is our sample output. We were able to make this in Maya by tracing the logo in Photoshop using the pen tool. Then, we exported those as Illustrator files. Let's get started. Go to Photoshop and open your logo image. On your tabs menu, click on Paths, and then let's click to create a new path layer. Next, using the pen tool right here, trace the outlines of your logo. Make sure outline is enabled. So let's just trace this arrow area here. Make sure to close each outline. Okay, let's continue to trace the blue box in the round rectangle. Okay, for creating curved shapes on paths, click and drag. You can see our Bezier controls here. So let's click on another point and drag to make the path curved. Okay, now let's move to the circle part to match our logo. So under the Paths tool, click on the Create Ellipse tool here, and just left click and drag our mouse. I'll be holding down Shift as well to make it a perfect circle. Okay, now let's move this circle to match your logo. To do that, let's use the direct selection path. Okay, then drag select the circle to select the points, and then just move our circle to match our logo. Okay, so let's create another circle. Let's go to Paths again, Ellipse Tool, click drag to create a circle, and then I'm gonna press A on my keyboard to access the direct selection tool, and then click drag to select the points, and then just move this to align our logo. Okay, so let's create another ellipse tool, then create another circle here. Okay, and then one last circle here. I'm gonna press A again, then click drag to select our circle, and then just match our logo. Okay, next, we must also trace the words that come with our logo, but obviously, if we trace each letter, this video will go on to an R, so to save time, let's skip ahead to Maya. Before doing that though, we must first export these as Illustrator files. So go to File, then Export, and select Path to Illustrator. Okay, so here, let's select our path layer, click on OK, and then let's save our file as Eat at Joe's, and then save it to our desktop. Click Save. Okay, here we are again at Maya. So let's import our paths here. So let's go to File, Import. Then let's look for our Illustrator paths. So this is our file right here. Click on Import. As you can see, we've successfully imported our Illustrator paths from Photoshop. Let's just select all of these first and then group them all together. So let's go to Edit, Group, or Apple G or Control G on your keyboard. And then let's just center the pivot of our group. So let's go to Modify, Center Pivot. And then let's just move this to the center to make it easier for us to see and align. Next, I will just rename the group logo, and then I will just zero out all of our values. So I'm going to go to Modify, Freeze Transformations. Okay. Now let's start extruding our logo. So I'm going to select the arrow shape, and then I'm going to hold on to Shift, then drag select the circle here. Let's also select the other circles. Okay. Next, make sure you're in Surfaces, Interface mode. And then let's go to Surfaces, and then click Bevel Plus. Okay, now let's press 5 on our keyboard, and you can see that our Illustrator path has been extruded into 3D. Let's just adjust the thickness. So to adjust the thickness, select our object and then go to the channel box to your right. Under the inputs, look for Bevel Plus. Here we can see the Bevel Plus settings. We could adjust the thickness via Extrude Depth. So let's just change the value of Extrude Depth to 3. Okay, so we can see that our logo is a little bit thicker than before. Let's continue to extrude the rest of our path. So let's just select this square right here, or rectangle. Go to Surfaces, Bevel Plus. Okay, and then let's add thickness. So let's go to our channel box again. Look for Bevel Plus in the inputs. Let's change the value to 3. Okay. Then let's move this back. Alright. Let's select the oval shape at the bottom. Go to Surfaces, Bevel Plus. By the way, if you're using the same command over and over, there's a shortcut. We could just press the letter G on our keyboard to repeat last command. Okay, so under inputs, let's add thickness to our extrusion. Go to Bevel Plus. Let's change this to a value of 3. And then let's just move this down or move this back. Next, let's try extruding the text for Joe's. So I'm gonna select J first, and then go to Surfaces, Bevel Plus, and then I'm gonna select O, Bevel Plus, letter E, Bevel Plus, apostrophe, Bevel Plus, the letter S, and then Bevel Plus. Let's just move all of these letters first at the front, because the next thing I would extrude is the outline of our text right here. So I traced them in Photoshop earlier. So let's go to Surfaces, Bevel Plus, and then we can see that it also extruded the outlines of our text. Let's just add thickness to our extrusion. Let's set it to 2. Alright, but you can see we have a problem here. Our extrusion is a little bit edgy and jaggy. So to adjust our smoothness, let's go to our attributes. So you could go to your attributes by clicking the attribute editor here. And then under the attribute editor, let's look for the Bevel Plus tab. Under this tab, we can see the settings that we see in the inputs from our channel box. But if you scroll down, we can see we have an attribute here that says count. If we move this count from 200 to maybe a value of 600, you can see that it adds divisions to our Bevel Plus, making our extrusions smoother. Okay. Then let's go back to our channel box. Let's move this back. Same for our text. Okay, next, let's try extruding the crab shape text here. So I'm gonna select on C, and then surfaces, Bevel Plus, and then right here, you can see that all of our texts are united into one path. So I'm just going to select the whole crab text here, and then go to surfaces, Bevel Plus. Okay, next, let's select the letter S. I'm going to press G on my keyboard to repeat last command. Okay, H, G, A, then C, and then the letter K. Okay, so now we've uh, extruded all of our paths. So let's just look through our model through wireframe unshaded. We can see that everything is now extruded. Let's just add a pole for our sign. So to do that, let's create a polygon cylinder. Okay, let's just scale this up. And then let's move it back. Okay, now you can see that we've recreated the logo from Photoshop. So this concludes our tutorial for creating logos in Maya.